don't ever want to get caught training any movements that aren't necessarily going to serve me. And what that's going to look like is pretty much anything that's going to be super flashy that you would think of from, fantasy sword fighting, where we're doing just a whole bunch of bullshit. I call it bullshit, but it takes the fencer away from the objective, which is to outmaneuver your opponent. And so a lot of the movements that you have to do during fighting and during engagements with your opponent are highly reliant on what your opponent is doing. And that means that I can't just close my eyes to continuous succession of movement. So that means that once I commit to something, I can't just say, oh, I'm going to throw this flourish and hope that something happens. A lot of times what you're going to do is just give the recipe for a double. And so there are kind of remedies to that, and that's practicing moving in between the guards with your cutting and with your stepping. There's always this idea of one step, one cut. One step, one cut. We should always have that in our minds when we're training, especially when we're training ourselves. One step, one cut. So, one step, one cut. One step, one cut. One step, one step, one step, one step, one step. Got it? So every action, boom, has its own cut. Recognizing the pathway a cut takes and the guard positions that occur within it. Vom-tag, long point, Alder. Vom-tag, long point, plow, right? Vom-tag, Alder, long point. Okay, so in all of these situations, long point, every single cut, long point exists. And so if we're going to cut and move around, acknowledging that long point is a position where we can, with enough control, abandon whatever it is that we're doing and move into another guard. Let's say, for example, I'm going to throw Oberhauen to cut angle number 2. They're going to come back and hit me with a middle cut towards the right side. So I cut, and in long point, boom, you can come back and reset. So in addition, you could train those positions to where at the end of your cut, if you are in long point, if I would have continued down into this space, wide open for the other cut, maybe my distance calculation was wrong or something of the sort, I don't have enough time to get up into this space. Cutting, long point, right there, boom, parry that shot, get your thrust, and all that. So recognizing when you're in guard positions is very helpful when you're fencing. I do think that's why there's a fundamental difference between Meyer and Lichtenauer, as to where Lichtenauer has basically 4 primary guards, and then we have the 4 primary guards in Meyer, and then there are several secondary guards. It's worth noting those secondary guards and what kind of tactics and skills you can apply from each one of those guard positions. So anyway, that's it. Study up.